There are a ton of skills to choose from in Burglar on Earth, and it can be overwhelming for new players. Sometimes you don't really know what is the best skill to choose first, or which skills are useless. So today I'm going to go over all the skills one by one, explaining their uses and which skills to choose as a first priority and which skills can be left at the end. Of course, for this video, I'm only going to mention the purple skills. Otherwise, this video will last for hours, but also because the purple skills are the most useful ones. Before starting the video, shout out to my first member of the channel, Shoot. Thank you for your support. If you want to become a member and support the channel, make sure to click on the link in the description. That would help me a lot. Enjoy the video. Starting with the lowest priority, we have Animal Friend, Look Around, and Fishing Spot. These skills will not impact your gameplay whatsoever, so you should leave them until the end. Animal Friend allows the player to approach animals without scaring them, and it only works for a short amount of time. After a few seconds, the animal will get scared of you as usual. There is no point in approaching the animals without scaring them. The only reason we approach animals is to kill them, right? And the best way to do it is by sneaking to do maximum damage. So it doesn't really make any sense to activate this skill. It does not help with killing the animals. So for this reason, I think the Animal Friend is a skill that should be left all the way at the end. It is one of the lowest priority skills. The Look Around skill is probably the least useful skill out of this list. Basically, this skill allows the player to zoom out and have a bigger and larger view. The effect will last for a couple of seconds. However, if you move, the view will immediately go back to normal. There is no real situation where the Look Around skill is going to be useful. For me, I sometimes use it to get a larger picture for a thumbnail or something. And that's about it. The skill also doesn't even work inside buildings. So for this reason, it's even more useless. So I advise you to never choose the Look Around skill until the end when you have obtained all the important skills. The Fishing Spot is also not that useful, especially when you are a beginner. You don't really need to have this skill. The Fishing Spot allows the player to unlock special locations for fishing. If you have the Fishing Spot skill, you'll be able to access certain fishing locations that will contain rare fish. Fishing in Burglar on Earth is definitely the least useful thing we have right now. Yeah, sure, there are a couple of good recipes in the kitchen stove, but it's not something that will completely change your gameplay. On top of that, you can already access the pier location where you can catch fish for some good recipes. So for now, simply ignore the Fishing Spot skill. Then moving on to the worth considering. We have Trader, Quick Step, Builder, and Hacker. These skills can offer some decent advantages, however, they should not be your priority. You should just consider them at some point. The Trader skill allows the player to get better deals with the dealer. Of course, the dealer is great and you can obtain weapons for pretty cheap. But is it really a priority? I don't think so. Having the Trader skill will not make a big difference when trading with the dealer. So I think that the Trader skill can wait a little bit. Quick Step allows the player to move faster when sneaking. This skill can be useful in some situations where you are trying to get away without alerting other enemies. But overall, the Quick Step skill will not make any difference. For example, as you can see, with and without having the Quick Step, the difference is very minimal. There are far more important skills than Quick Step. It should not be your priority whatsoever. Builder allows the player to obtain more materials when destroying walls in the base. This skill can be extremely important if you have already built your base, and maybe you want to destroy some walls to change the layout. So it's definitely worth having the Builder skill to get more resources back. However, as a beginner, you don't need to have this skill at all. Because when you are a beginner, you don't need to build walls, since the zombie horde will destroy your base every 24 hours. So it's going to be a massive waste of resources. And as we know, the only true threat to your base is going to be the raiders when you reach level 150. And by that time, you will have unlocked all the important skills, and the builder skill will be waiting for you. But even then, even if you have the builder skill, it's not worth it to destroy walls in your base, especially stone and metal. You will waste so much resources. So all of that to say, don't bother with the builder skill for now. Lastly, the hacker skill allows the player to hack into certain terminals and open inaccessible areas. For example, if you have the hacker skill unlocked, you'll be able to open the basements that have this special computer terminal on the hatch. The hacker skill can definitely be useful if you really want to access these basements. You might get some extra materials, but again, is it really a priority to have it? Do you really need to access these basements when you are just a beginner starting out? For me, I think the basements can wait a little bit, so the hacker skill is worth considering at some point. However, it's not really a priority. Then, moving on to the useful skills, we have sprint and roll. These skills can be extremely useful in some situations, but still not enough to be your top priority. The sprint skill increases the speed of the player for a short amount of time. This skill can be useful in some situations where you need to get away from zombies. For example, in Burglar Alpha, when doing the grenade trick, you can use the sprint skill to avoid taking damage from the zombies. Also, in the transport hub, when you are facing the butcher, we know that once he reaches below 1000 HP, he will start running towards the turkeys to heal up. So, by using the sprint skill, you will easily get ahead of the butcher to take down the turkeys. But overall, even with these advantages, I would still say that the sprint skill should not be your top priority. Moving on to the roll skill. This skill allows the player to avoid taking damage when rolling. This skill can be also useful in some situations where you want to get away from zombies without taking damage. For example, in Bunker Alpha, when doing the grenade trick, you can use the roll skill to avoid getting hit by the frenzied giants. Same thing as the sprint skill. The roll skill can be useful, but not as much as the skills I will mention in a moment. But of course, these skills are way more important than the ones we mentioned before. So for example, if you have to choose between sprint or roll, and hacker, builder, or any of the skills, then definitely go for the sprint or the roll skill. Then moving on to the top priority, we have burglar, extra pocket, and self healing. These skills are a must have. Doesn't matter the level you are, you should always choose these skills no matter what. The burglar skill allows the player to open locked chests. This skill has 3 levels, so the more advanced you are in the burglar skill, the more locked chests you will be able to open. And these locked chests usually contain extremely good items such as weapons, C4s, and most importantly, grenades. If you want to clear waves in the police station, you will need a ton of grenades. And to get a ton of grenades, you will need to have the burglar skill. There are many locations with locked chests. In Bunker Alpha, in the police station, in the motel, in the factory, in resource zones. The burglar skill is a great skill to have to obtain rare items, so for me it's a top priority. The extra pocket will give the player an extra slot in the inventory, and this extra slot is extremely handy in many different situations. You can easily switch between 2 weapons without having a problem. It's also useful when clearing locations. You can sneak attack using a saw blade mace and then finish the zombie with a fast weapon, while also having healing items in the second hand in case things go south. This is a great combination. You don't need to constantly open your inventory to switch between weapons. The extra pocket is also very powerful in the police station when clearing waves. You can easily clear waves by using the combination, a weapon in your hand and the grenades in your extra pocket. So for these reasons, the extra pocket is a must-have. Finally, the ultimate skill to have, self-healing. For me, this skill is the best in the game and you should always go for it. It is extremely helpful when you are clearing locations. You will be able to heal up to full HP with a single click of a button. And also, the self-healing will also save you a lot of healing items. So, this is why, in my opinion, the healing skill should be your top of the top priority. And here we go. These were all the skills we have in Last Day on Earth. I hope this video will help you choose your skills wisely. Thanks for watching and bye bye. Big thanks again for my first member of the channel. Thank you Toot for the support.